we got sent to Guadalcanal, and I was in Air Group 11 then, and we were supposed to go on aboard the Hornet, but we lost that ship, and so they kept the Air Group together, and they sent us to the Fiji Islands as a standby for Guadalcanal because they were still fighting there and hadn't gotten control of it. And so we went in the early part of 43, and they had pretty well secured Guadalcanal as far as the people on it, but they were still sending in raids to bomb us, and they were sending ships down through the island chain to shell them. So we went in there and replaced the squadron that was there. And we got in there, and we hadn't been there but one night, and they would fly planes over us at night, not drop bombs or anything, but to keep you awake. And they had one particular plane that came over, and we were told this by other people there. He comes over nearly every night around 11:30, and they called him Washing Machine Charlie because the plane had a vibrating sound. Their engines weren't synchronized like ours. They go womp, 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 womp. Well, we weren't accustomed to that, and besides that, there was a gun emplacement not far from where we were, 100 milligram, I can't think of the term for the shell, but it could shoot way up in the air, and it made a lot of noise. Well, while we were in bed, that thing went off, and we didn't, and nobody had told us about them shooting at him at night. But that plane went off. That thing went off. It shot at that plane. Well, they didn't hit him, but he left. And then later that night again, he came back over, and they sounded the alarm for you to get in a foxhole. So we got in a foxhole then. Well, this went on for several weeks. Nearly every night that guy'd come over. Well, we got, if you get complacent, he's liable to start bombing. So every time he came over, we got out, and when they sounded the clear, we'd go back to bed. He did that, I would guess, for 3 weeks while we were there. And then they sent a night fighter over there. It was like a P-58, but it was black. They painted all black, and he could get up and track him at night. We had radar where we could vector him to where it was, and we had radios where we could hear what the ground forces were telling this guy. So they launched the pilot when we were there, and we could hear him coming, and we heard our director tell him Angels 10. I mean, the guy was at 10,000 feet, so he got up there, and then we'd hear the ground corps say 10 degrees port or 10% starboard because the guy would change. So they tracked him around the course. And a little bit the guy said, I got him in my sights, and we saw him shoot that guy down. We could see the shells going up there hitting it, and here he came strolling. That was the end of Washing Machine Charlie.